in the mountain bike world, like especially online, there's a lot of these like generalized cues for skills coaching. So they might be like elbows out or like, heels down, those sorts of things. But I wanted to ask you a question more along the lines of like the emotions that come with mountain biking. So are there any more generalized emotional skills that, you have in mountain biking?
Yeah, I do think it takes emotional maturity to stay focused in the moment, especially when you feel fear. And I think actually what's super cool about mountain biking is fear is obvious. When I feel scared of something on my bike because I don't want to go over the bars, I do ask women this. Like when they look down a line and say, oh no, I can't do that. I actually want them to sit there for a second and tell me exactly what are you afraid of? Like give me details, like breaking your arm, going off to the side, flipping over the bars. Okay, okay, now I'm hearing some like actual things you're afraid of happening. Now let's back it up. What are the skills that you need so none of that happens? Probably need to be off my brakes, probably need to be looking ahead, need to stay light on the front wheel and absorb the bumps. Like if you could actually break down what you're truly afraid of and then think through what do I need to do so that doesn't happen, right? I think that there comes this understanding of people need to know what happens when you crash. That's the first thing I want to do is, of course, I want to make sure someone's okay, but I also want to make sure they know what happened, right? And so I think with fear, when we're afraid of something in life, I went through a divorce and I was very scared to get divorced. But in the moment when I was putting it off for years, I don't think I could have told you I'm scared. I just knew I wasn't ready. I think wasn't ready. People having kids, I'm not ready, right? There's this whole concept of I don't feel ready. That's fear. So when I'm on a bike, I'm like, oh, obviously I'm scared of that. And now I can work through it. And I think what that helps us do is it helps us understand fear that manifests in different ways. I may not be physically scared of smashing my face, but I'm scared to get divorced because I don't want to lose everything or I don't want to be unlovable or whatever the fear around being afraid to get divorced or being afraid to quit a job that's not fulfilling. I think being able to really identify what you're scared of and now what needs to happen so that doesn't happen. Mountain biking taught me that to really like navigate through fear and to also understand when the fear, the risk versus the reward doesn't equal out. I say that about any wooden skinny off the ground. I do not need to ride a wooden skinny off the ground. I risk versus reward is not worth it to me. I'm so terrified the whole time. It's not fun. So I'm cool not riding skinnies, right? And I think that's another beautiful thing about mountain biking is you choose what you want out of this sport. It doesn't have to be gnarly. You don't have to be scared shitless on every ride, but maybe riding over a rock that you used to avoid, that's enough. That's enough to be like, I was scared of that rock and then I rode over it and it wasn't so bad. That's what we're trying to get to. We're not trying to get to the point where you're pooping your pants on every ride. Nobody wants that.